Hi everyone, Donna Vincent coming to you from Pennsylvania. In this video, we will be reviewing another pet food ingredient list. But before we get into our review, a little bit about me. I started researching the pet industry and pet food ingredients a little over 3 years ago after my dogs both got sick on food we purchased. I purchased expired food and started feeding it to them. I didn't realize it was expired until I got it home. Recalls and lawsuits are ongoing. So jumping into the pet food industry for me, I had to find something that I could trust for my pets. I've also been clean eating for over 20 years and researching nutrition for people and also looking into ingredients for personal care products for over 20 years. So this was very natural for me to move into the pet industry. Let's jump into our dog food ingredient review. Today we will be talking about Purina Pro Plan Natural Chicken and Rice Formula. And on the bag you can see it says real chicken is the first ingredient, brown rice and oatmeal, 30% protein, made without corn, wheat, soy, added artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. It all sounds good, but as you're learning, the advertisement versus the reality is sometimes different. Here we are. Let's jump into the ingredients. And the first ingredient is chicken. And I didn't highlight chicken because it's a bad ingredient. Chicken is a quality ingredient. The problem with the whole chicken, whole turkey, whatever the animal protein source, is that it's mostly water. It's 75 to 80% water. So your pet is not getting the protein source, the amount of protein that you would expect. But as consumers and the manufacturers know this, we think that we should look for chicken, whole chicken, real chicken as the first ingredient, whether it's chicken, turkey, or lamb, again, whatever the protein source. That's what, as consumers, we think we should look for. In reality, it's not providing much protein. Chicken meal is providing more of the protein. This is simply the water is first removed, so the protein source is 75%, 85% protein, and just 10% water. Let's jump into the red ingredients. Brewer's dried yeast, brewer's rice, animal fat, and this should be putting up a big red flag for you. For this ingredient alone, I wouldn't touch this food. Metadine sodium bisulfate complex is a man-made version of vitamin K, and it's not even required in pet foods. Let's look into the ingredients we were talking about. Chicken we already talked about. It's mostly water and it's not providing you much protein at all, even though it is a high quality ingredient. Brewer's dried yeast is the fifth ingredient. It's high up there on the ingredient list. It's a controversial ingredient. It's a byproduct. And anytime something is a byproduct, it means it's left over, and this is left over from the beer making process. Yeast can be linked to allergies, and it's used to add to the protein level of the food. So if you recall, this food was 30% protein, and this brewer's yeast being fifth on the ingredient list is adding to that protein level. Brewer's rice is sixth on the ingredient list. Again, it's a byproduct consisting of small fragments left over after milling the brown rice. And this ingredient is only providing a modest nutritional value for your pet. Metadine, the man-made version of vitamin K that's not even required in foods, is linked to liver toxicity, allergies, and abnormal breakdown of red blood cells. The animal fat, where I mentioned I would put this food right back on the shelf simply because of this one ingredient. The pet food industry official definition of animal fat is obtained from the tissues of mammals and/or poultry in the commercial process of rendering. And I will be going over what that rendering process is. The rendering process, rendering plants, are something the pet industry doesn't really want you to know about. Low-quality animal fats are generic. They're unidentified animals, anonymous animals, and can come from almost anywhere, such as dead, dying, diseased, or disabled animals. These are considered the 4D ingredients. You do not want products that include 4D ingredients. Out-of-date grocery meats, dead zoo animals, roadkill, euthanized dogs and cats. These can all be included in this animal fat. The rendering process. This is the process of cooking raw animal material to remove the moisture and fat. It works like a giant kitchen. It's run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it melts the meat away from the bones in a hot soup. It's in a big vat, such as looks like soup. The cooker or the chef blends the raw product in order to maintain a certain ratio between, and you really want to listen to this, the carcasses of pets, livestock, poultry waste, and supermarket rejects. That's what's going into this big soup vat being cooked and put into our pet products. Then there's a shaker screen that sifts out excess hair and large bone chips. Once the batch is finished, all that's left is yellow grease, meat, and bone meal. And you will see food that includes meat and bone meal in the ingredient list. So this is something else you really want to look out for. The higher quality fats include chicken fat, beef fat, and salmon oil. Chicken fat is the most common. When we went over the advertisement for this Purina Pro Plan natural pet food, it said it doesn't have artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives, no corn, wheat, gluten, soy, which is all good, and that's the advertisement. But the bad, and I consider this very bad, anything coming out of the rendering process, is that animal fat that could be made up of any animal. And that's the bad side, and that's where the reality versus the advertisement is sometimes very different. I hope this has been helpful. If you think it may help someone else out, please share it with them. I am here to help you and your pets. Private message me if you have any questions. Post your comments below. Thanks for listening. I do have more information on my blog, and that will be listed at the end of this video. I will talk to you all again soon.